definitely going in a museum of, can you believe that a human being said this and the world did not revolt and did not stop these monsters?
On this issue, Donald Trump so far has been complete and utter garbage.
Gaza's a nasty place. It's been that way for years. I think it should become a free zone, freedom. I call it a freedom zone.
Yeah, well, Gaza is a nasty place, as Trump put it, because the United States aided and abetted the slaughter of Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, the complete and utter destruction of nearly every single building in the Gaza Strip. That was all done with United States bombs that were paid for by American taxpayers. So we'll get back to Donald Trump in just a minute, but I actually wanted to focus a little bit on what Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been saying about his plans for the Gaza Strip, because he has allowed for some humanitarian aid to enter the Gaza Strip today, but not because he's trying to avoid a genocide, but because he's trying to give the illusion that he's attempting to avoid a genocide. He says, and he says this straight up. I'm reading his quote. "We're going to take control of all the Gaza Strip," Netanyahu vowed Monday in a video released by his office announcing that Israel would begin delivering minimal humanitarian aid, food and medicine only. Okay, so we knew that Israel was going to take over the entirety of the Gaza Strip on day one. To me, it was abundantly clear they were going to exploit the horrific atrocities that were committed by Hamas on October 7th, 2023. They were gonna use it as an excuse to do exactly what they're doing right now, exactly what they've been doing for a year and a half. Netanyahu claimed that the international pressure, including from pro-Israel Republican senators and the White House reports drop site, required the appearance of humanitarian intervention. Our best friends in the world, senators I know as strong supporters of Israel, have warned that they cannot support us if images of mass starvation emerge. They come to me and say, we'll give you all the help you need to win the war, but we can't be receiving pictures of famine. So to continue the war of annihilation, Netanyahu said that we need to do it in a way that they won't stop us. So again, the humanitarian aid isn't meant to save anyone's life. The humanitarian aid is meant to lessen the pressure on Israel to end the war so they can finish the slaughter. They can finish the genocide that they've started.
Yeah, so we're gonna get to the end game of how they're gonna do what they are now almost literally calling the final solution for the Palestinians. So, but first on these matters, you notice he said we're going to do minimal aid. Like we're gonna keep them at near starvation levels, but try to make sure that they don't starve on camera, because it's proving awkward for the Republican senators that we bought in America. And they'd like to help us in murdering these people and ethnically cleansing them and taking the Gaza Strip, but they're having trouble helping us along those lines. And by the way, why are they having trouble? Because now right-wing voters have started to rebel. And they're not, they're not all humanitarians. A lot of them are concerned about money, and a lot of them are concerned about America first, as opposed to following the orders of Israel like a dog, okay? Which is exactly what's happening now. Anyways, but they're saying, look, these Republican senators are as vicious as we are, but they have a better strategy on optics. We keep them at starvation level, but not enough, but not all of them are dying. That way we'll be able to ethnically cleanse them, which is the part we're gonna get to. Now, the second part there is, I don't wanna gloss over it. He said we're gonna take all of the Gaza Strip. So now, if you're in the camp, understandably so, in the beginning you thought, oh my God, October 7th, we're defending ourselves, of course, and we're the victims, etc. And Israel's a tiny country, and we're surrounded by enemies, etc., etc. I understand all those justifications, etc. Now we're almost 2 years in, and it turns out we were right. We told you that it wasn't just about self-defense. They meant to take Gaza and ethnically cleanse the Palestinians. Now, the people who are Israeli supporters said 1 billion times that they were not going to do that. And that in fact, anyone who said they were going to do that was anti-Semitic.
Right.
So now, are any of those people going to have an ounce of integrity and honesty and say, okay, look, I didn't know. How was I supposed to know that Netanyahu and Smotrich, etc. were that evil? Maybe I should have known, but I didn't know, but you guys were right, and I can't have it. I can't have it on my conscience. Or are you going to say, well, I mean, yeah, well, we had to. Hamas made us steal all of the Palestinian land. Hamas made us ethnically cleanse 2 million Palestinians. Hamas made us starve their babies.
Yep,
okay?
bingo. I think that's the answer.
And if you say that, understand you're going in a museum one day next to Smotrich, etc. And we got devastating Smotrich quotes. He's definitely going in a museum of, can you believe that a human being said this and the world did not revolt and did not stop these monsters?
In fact, the United States provided more bombs, okay? We provided more bombs for this slaughter. And Cenk, I take issue with you framing this in any partisan way, because I guarantee you, I can go on Twitter right now and prove it to you, there is a plethora of Democrats who see what's going on in the Gaza Strip and they love it, they defend it, they do it every single day. This is not a partisan issue. There is scum on both sides of the political aisle in regard to supporting what's happening in the Gaza Strip right now, and they should be called out.
So I want to be very clear. On this show, we're honest and we call out all the powerful. So is Anna right about the Democrats? Well, it's indisputable. What are you going to say, that Joe Biden helped the Palestinians? He definitively chose not to help the Palestinians. He allowed their wholesale slaughter and he financed it, and he gave them over $20 billion to do it. So don't tell me that every once in a while he wagged his finger at Netanyahu.
He didn't.
So if you believe that, you're such a deluded person. You probably still think that Joe Biden's 35 years old and was the best Democratic candidate. And there's no talking to you because you've lost your mind. Okay, I'm not addressing those people. I'm addressing the rest of folks who live in the same planet. Okay, so hence, are the Democrats guilty here as well? Of course they are. But I'm not making it partisan, Anna. Netanyahu said, our Republican senator friends. And in fact, if you're on the left and you say, aha, you see that the Republicans are worse. Well, if Trump allows Netanyahu to do the ethnic cleansing, etc., you've got a good argument for them being worse. And if you're a Republican, don't tell me that Biden was bad. If Trump's like, oh, I'm gonna make Americans ethnically cleanse Gaza,
right,
that is worse, right? Don't tell me that Netanyahu didn't say, I have the Republican senators in my back pocket and we're coordinating on how to murder these people and make the American taxpayers pay for it, because he did say it. We just read you the quote about how his beloved Republican senators are helping him, okay? Now, but if you're on the left, one last thing. Right-wing voters are coming in your direction. Please say yes. Please don't be a moron and a selfish prick who says, oh, I want to remain morally pure, so I will not accept Republican voters who are anti-war. I don't believe them, I'll never believe them, I'll hate them for the rest of my life, and it means the Palestinians get murdered. I don't care, because I'm morally pure. I never had to soil myself by talking to Marjorie Taylor Greene, who wants to make sure that Israel gets $0 so they don't continue to slaughter. But I am more pure than Marjorie Taylor Greene or Tucker Carlson. I'm the most morally pure. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're actually saying, I don't care about morality. I don't care that these Palestinians are gonna get slaughtered as long as my brand is clean and safe.
And look,
okay?
I wanna be clear about the distinctions here, because there are Republican voters who see the slaughter in the Gaza Strip and they're disgusted by it and they do not wanna support it or fund it. There are also people in positions of power, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Am I deluded enough to think that Marjorie Taylor Greene gives a damn about Arabs, Muslims, Palestinians trapped in the Gaza Strip? No, no one's deluded enough to think that. But I know that she doesn't want to spend money on it. I know that she doesn't want to spend money, US taxpayer funds, on bombs so Israel can continue dropping them on the heads of all those children in Gaza. And you know what? At this point, when you have Republicans in power, I'll take it.
If you don't take Marjorie Taylor Greene or anyone else, and if you're a Republican and you don't take Ro Khanna or AOC or anyone on our side as allies in stopping the atrocities that Israel is doing, because you'd like to remain in your silly mind morally pure, you're a disgusting person who says, I'd rather have these people be murdered than stain myself or my precious brand. Okay, so I'm done with that. I'm just talking to decent human beings who actually want this madness to stop. So now let's find out what extra atrocities these people are going to carry out with our money under our name. And please, if you're a decent human being, I don't give a damn if you're a Republican or a right winger or a left winger or a Democrat or in the middle. Please, let's stop these monsters from butchering these people with our money.
So let's go to Bezalel Smotrich, which Cenk had mentioned earlier, because his quotes are even worse, if you can believe it. Bezalel Smotrich said the aid scheme would allow our friends in the world to continue to provide us with an international umbrella of protection against the Security Council, meaning the UN Security Council, and the Hague Tribunal, and for us to continue to fight, God willing, until victory. Victory means, the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians from the Gaza Strip and then the stealing of the Gaza Strip, that region for Israel. Jeremy Scahill writes that in an emergency press conference to address criticism from his own base in Israel, Smotrich explained why the appearance of allowing aid is necessary on a strategic PR level, okay? He says the aid that will enter Gaza in the coming days is the tiniest amount. They say it openly, they say it overtly, okay? And you still have people in the United States gaslighting the hell out of us about like, no, it's our special ally in the Middle East. We must protect Israel at all costs. They're not doing anything wrong. It's a democracy, don't you know? Let me give you more. A handful of bakeries that will hand out pita bread to people in public kitchens. People in Gaza will get a pita and a food plate, and that's it. Exactly what we are seeing in the videos. People standing in line and waiting to have someone serve them with some soup plate. Truth be told, until the last of the hostages returns, we should also not let water into the Gaza Strip. But the reality is that if we do that, the world will force us to halt the war immediately and to lose. It would be winning the battle and losing the war. I'm committed to winning the war. Let me give you 2 more quotes. He says, this is maybe the worst one. We are disassembling Gaza and leaving it as piles of rubble with total destruction, which has no precedent globally. I'm glad he knows what a piece of garbage he and his allies in the Israeli government happen to be, okay? This is unprecedented. The type of destruction, the type of slaughter that we are engaging in, Bezalel Smotrich is saying it, he's saying it. It is unprecedented.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so angry right now that this is what we are using our finite resources to support, to fund. He continues to say, there are pressures. There are those who attack us. They are trying to make us stop. They are not succeeding. You know why they are not succeeding? Because we are navigating the campaign responsibly and wisely, and that's how we'll continue to do it. Smotrich said that the Israeli forces are initiating a campaign to force Palestinians into the south of Gaza, and from there, God willing, to third countries as part of President Trump's plan. This is a change of the course of history, nothing less. And to be sure, on this issue, Donald Trump so far has been complete and utter garbage. He is definitely supportive of the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. The only area where he might be a little bit of an improvement from Biden is that he's unwilling to go to war with Iran for now, but that could change at any moment. But as it pertains to the Palestinians and the Gaza Strip, so far from what I gather is gonna happen next, he's worse than Biden.
We don't know that yet.
So far, based on what he's saying publicly, Cenk, he just said this.
No, I know, you're right. What he said publicly so far is worse. Some of his actions are better. I'll get into that in a second, okay? And then is there any hope? We'll get into that as well. So let's just break down these quotes real quick. So he said, if we could, we wouldn't even let water into Gaza. So forget starving them to death. Within 3 or 4 days, they would all die of thirst.
Ugh. Get his face off the camera.
No. So this guy,
disgusting.
So look, what am I supposed to call them? Am I like, would the Germans have starved babies to death? Yes, back in the 1930s and 40s. Would they have considered maybe dehydrating them to death? Certainly, and they killed 6 million Jews and 13 million people overall. So there isn't anything that they would, but is starving babies or dehydrating them to death better than what the Germans did? No, it's a real question, it's a literal question. So like, I know that folks who support Israel love to get offended.
Good.
And they think like, murdering those children is no big deal. Me getting offended is a giant deal. Your diploma should be canceled. You should be arrested. You should be deported. You should never be able to get another job if you offended me. Because offending me is a giant problem. We literally have congressional hearings over it. We literally do kidnappings on American streets over it, right? But actually, over 16,000 children already killed in Gaza. And now Smotrich, as you see in the second half of the statement, says, now if we could, we'd murder them all. We'd starve or dehydrate them to death. But we have a PR problem, and our friends and allies in America who are giving us money to do this slaughter and genocide, they're such good people. The American people in their open-heartedness have decided to help us murder these Palestinians and then drive them out of the Gaza Strip entirely. Then we steal all of their land. This is, again, we just read you the quotes. So there's no argument left. There's absolutely no argument left. So they're saying, yes, we're gonna drive them out. We're gonna first drive them into southern Gaza, into this uninhabitable place. We're gonna give them the tiniest amount of food so they could barely survive. And then we're gonna start shipping them into other countries so we can steal their homes, so we can steal their entire land. And so don't tell me that wasn't their purpose. Well, they just said that's their purpose. So if you're still supporting this particular government of Israel,
get to know yourself.
No, yeah,
get to know yourself. Get to know yourself. Get to know who you are, okay? Get to know yourself. You're not a moral person.
And can I just say, like a lot of folks, and I give them a lot of grace because I've dealt with it because I'm from the old country, right? I came here when I was 8, and I know a lot of people from the old country. And in the old country, everybody's so obsessed with their own identity and they can't think straight. But here, we're in America now, okay? Are you an American or aren't you? Because I'm an American and I think like an American. And so when I think like an American, I think that everyone is equal. And I don't think that my original home country is somehow magical and that it can't do anything wrong and that I must protect whatever its government does. And that they're just a magical ethnicity who can't ever do anything wrong, who can't ever have a government that goes right wing, extreme right wing, and then fascist. No, it can't happen. It can happen to any other human being, any other race, any other religion, but it can't happen to mine. I don't have that magical thinking because I'm an American and I believe that we are all equal.
Yep.
So do you believe the same thing, or are you still holding on to childish fantasies about how your own race or religion or background is somehow so chosen that even if they say we're gonna murder all these people in the most vicious ways possible, that somehow you've deluded yourself into believing, nope, doesn't matter. Even we could murder babies and still be the most moral, awesome people, and you owe us money. And you better give me another $300 billion, otherwise you've offended me. I'm the one who is offended, they say. No, we're done with that, we're done with that. So I don't care who's offended at all. And again, this is nonpartisan. If you're offended by us working with Republicans who'd like to stop the war, there's something wrong with you. There's something that says the life of Palestinian children are not as important to me as staining my morality. Oh, I don't want to work with right wingers. God damn it, man. Care about humanity. Care about those people. Instead of your own stupid brands and your own stupid reputation. And that goes double for the Republicans. Hey, Republicans, oh, beloved Trump. And what's he doing? He's getting dog walked by Netanyahu.
He sure is.
Dog walked. Okay, what happened to America first? What happened to America first? Oh no, but first, you know what we did? You guys, the right wingers were so proud. Oh, Doge, we cut malaria funding. Now kids in Africa are gonna get malaria, but that's okay, because America first. We cut cancer funding, we cut Medicaid, right, okay. Oh, Israel, no, we can't cut their, no, to send them bombs to murder people and starve people to death and to steal their land? No. Kids can get malaria, kids can get cancer, I don't care. But we must send 4 billion, 8 billion, 20 billion more of our money to slaughter these Palestinian kids. If that's your priority, whether you're on the right or on the left or wherever the hell you think you are, and you think the #1 priority for America should be to make sure that Israel has enough money to slaughter more Palestinian children, you're a disgusting person. disgusting. And you definitely are not America first. You're not anywhere near that. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.